guys, I think it's going to be 10% relative in the NBA.
10%? Huh. Wow.
Yeah, I have longer, further thoughts on that. We don't have time for Weird and Wonderful, but maybe one day Wilds I'll talk about on the podcast when you want to listen.
Sounds good to me. Bronny's back 12 points and broke his three-point shooting slump by going 2 for 5. Nick, do you expect more of this from Bronny?
Well, I think he's going to look in the rest of Summer League closer to this than he did than 0 for everything. He is 7 for 31 from the field and 0 for 15 from 3. I think that he is, right now, obviously developmental. We know all of that. But I don't think he's in way over his skis in Summer League. I think he was playing poorly. And I think that there had to be an element of, man, this is a lot.
Yes.
This is a lot.
He's worn it well.
He's a 19-year-old
He's a 19-year-old kid who also has not, forget having the spotlight his dad had. He wasn't, because of maybe it would have been like this at USC as far as the spotlight, but not post-cardiac arrest. Mm-hmm. Right. And then even his high school team had a bigger star on it, not a bigger celebrity, but a bigger star. All of a sudden he shows up to Summer League, his face is on the little sideline banner stuff. So it's just a lot. So I don't think that he is in over his skis in Summer League. I think that he's fine for Summer League. So yeah, I expect more of this.
Yeah. In fairness, for those who've been critical, he did look like, man, does he even belong in those first few games? Last night was the first time he looked like a pro, to use, Jaylen Brown's term. Like, he really looked like, okay, he could be a pro. He was smart. He didn't force the action, but he was aggressive. I said yesterday, sometimes he doesn't do a lot, but he was more aggressive yesterday at the drive to the bucket, a nice finish in traffic. Obviously hit his jump shot. And even as he was starting to hit points, and many people would think, okay, I got it going, let me really try to do something, he stayed within himself, took what the game gave him. It looked good. I thought that was a great step in the right direction. I think he still will have some shooting woes. He'll have some games where he doesn't shoot well in these Summer League games. But that was huge for him, and I thought he looked really good. And I'd be encouraged if I'm anybody pulling for Bronny, 5 games in, he's actually,
starting to get the hang of
play.
it.
Getting comfortable.
Okay, because I am supporting Bronny and rooting for Bronny, but I'm going to have an odd opinion on this.
Okay.
Because I'm on hobble watch.
Yeah.
If anyone's ever hobbling, I'm locked in. I'm on wince watch, famously after Giannis was wincing and I predicted the unfortunate end of the Bucks season. Yeah. I am not going to be on Bronny watch because I want to support him by ignoring him. I want to just let the guy develop. Hey, did you go 0 for 3? Did you go 1 for 3? I feel like there's so much attention on him that it's hurting his development, and I want to be part of the change by
Can I say
ignoring
So I think that is
an odd way.
It's an odd way to do it, but it's actually what we need to do.
Criticize Mahomes.
I know, but I'm right.
Bronny.
I'm
That's
positive I'm right.
Wilds, you are in a vacuum. You are correct. But
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm not sure that's going to be the stance of the television show you have to work on. So
that is the problem.
I understand. That's
why
part
everyone's.
of the deal.
There's a little
part
bit
of the deal.
I don't want to say hate, but there's a little bit of
vitriol
because he's not good enough to warrant the attention that you guys are giving him as that person comments on the highlight they just watched.
Of course. Yeah, that is part of the snake eating its tail nature of sports media. But this is the part of you that occasionally gets mad at the start of the show and you're like, why aren't we talking Titans? And it's like, buddy, you helped pick the topics.
You know what? YouTube comments agree with you. I disagree. I was heavy on the Browns.
How much time are you spending reading YouTube comments?
More than
depends on my self-esteem.
He's searching for the national treasure.
We're gonna not have time for this.
I have great news for Nuggets fans. Russell Westbrook joining the team after being kind of routed through Utah, who continued to not sign anybody and maybe trading their best player. So Westbrook to Denver. Brew, your reaction?
I don't hate it. Look, he's coming off the. If they were to start him, I'd be like, oh my gosh, what are they doing?
No.
All right, but him coming off the bench and his ego. Now, remember, Nick, when he went to the Lakers, he was still Russell Westbrook. You know,
he
like
was coming off a
all-time
great run
player.
with Washington. Great runs,
But
extreme.
no, he
big
played well
numbers.
there, averaging a triple-double, got him to the
That's what I
playoffs,
meant,
you know. So he was still thinking he's in his superstar phase. Now he clearly understands this is what I am now. I'm winding down my career as a role player. It's just about winning. And so I think he can go to the Nuggets, come off the bench, give them energy. All right, they need energy. He can't replace KCP because he can't shoot. And that's what KCP does.
And they needed more shooters.
Yeah, they got to do more. They still need to get somebody that can shoot. But off the bench, bringing energy, I think this is okay.
Just quickly for the bench, Denver bench in the regular season, which you were classic.
2.
1.5.
Correct. Yeah.
It was a full season.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Correct.
30 points off the bench, the Denver's bench, 25th in the league, 44% field goal, 26th in the league. So obviously everything runs through Joker, not a lot of depth, kind of fell apart there. And in the playoffs, that 30 points off the bench went down to 15 points off the bench.
And that, by the way, happens to every team because your starters play more. And I know Wilds, yesterday you told me I have to stop asking you questions on the air.
No, you ask me questions, but when I give you answers, you can't be like, no.
Well,
like, Wilds, what's your opinion on this?
All right, well, this might be another one of those things. Russell Westbrook, even dating back to when he was a superstar, what time of year did he struggle the most? Where did he play his worst basketball?
Playoffs.
The playoffs. Good job, Brew. Thank you.
I thought it was going to make 3 p.m.
That's why I really don't understand, nor do I like this for Denver. Denver last year was 29th in the league in three-point volume. And I'm not saying they need to be the Celtics is from three-point volume. This doesn't help that. Russ last year, so we know over the course of the season, he's not going to help your three-point shooting to begin with. Last year with the Clippers, or at any point really in his career post the 2015 playoffs, honestly, if we're going so for a decade, he has struggled massively come the postseason. And that is where, even if he knows I'm not a superstar anymore, I think maybe he wants it so bad or so competitive.
No, but he's had moments, he's had flashes.
But this year in the playoffs, he was awesome in game 1, and then he was their worst player on their team.
But they needed more from him because of the injuries.
I get that.
Like,
but
I don't think.
I just don't think Russell Westbrook is wired at any point in his basketball life to just be a role player.
How about this? What was Denver's, besides three-point shooting, intangible? I'll go to the intangibles guy. What was the intangibles thing? I won't ask you, I'll just say it. The intangible thing that Denver needed? A little energy, a little intensity. They would get apathetic. They would watch big leads just fall away, or they would let leads get out of hand and then Joker had to stay in. He couldn't go to the bench, and things got screwed up.
Their
now Russ
star
can go in.
player is a laid-back guy. All right? No, Jokic.
You screaming yesterday.
Yeah, but no, he gets into at times, but I mean, generally he's calm and cool. And I think energy is something they need. Now, and I also think this, Nick, if it's not working.
Yes,
I don't think Michael Malone will go with. Like, they get rid of him.
No,
this won't be the Lakers.
That's fine, but there is an element of we're a year
trial.
removed from winning the title. We're changing things up. We just lost KCP, bringing Russell Westbrook, where I'm like, I've seen that movie, and it ended terribly.
The weird thing is, too, LeBron obviously wanted Russ. Joker really wants Russ.
NBA players like him a lot more than NBA
because you
viewers
like
do.
energy. Energy is a